All right. A rabbi, a penguin, and a caveman walk into a bar. And the bartender says, "What is this? Some kind of joke?" Is this thing on? I want to thank everybody for coming down to the cave. I know it was a big commute, especially for the Neanderthals. They have a hard time with directions. All right, this is the first innovation conference ever, the first one of my very, very, very long and successful career. A couple of housekeeping announcements, okay? When you meet the bison, make sure and stick it right there, all right, or else there's no lunch. Okay? Also, leave your bows and arrows at the cave entrance, please. I'd like to thank our other organizers, especially Walt, thank you, and Saul. Okay, now. Oh, God, can we adjust the... I need a better graphic designer for that slide. All right, so here's how innovation works. You get a team together, you get past the boss, you go past the pterodactyl, and then it's sort of wiggle, 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 and you're there. Any questions? No? All right. Now, for all of you who are already impressed with this conference, here's the secret. You have a big kahuna, two small skinny guys, and then a crazy man on the side over there, all right? That's the key to success. All right, I am a futurist, so I'm going to tell you about the future. And you better believe me. Okay, our artistic skills will improve, and we can draw horses and bulls at the same time. Then, jump ahead, we learn to write. The caves get a little better. There are just more of them. Sometimes they go up the hill. Sometimes they go up the sky. Sometimes they go all the way across the horizon. But they're still the same damn cave. All right? Art changes a lot. This is an art museum of the future. This is RISD in 2050. They've turned it into a power plant. All the crazy art projects get burned for fuel. But I skipped ahead. First of all, to make work easier, we invented computers, then cloning. All right, all our computer knowledge helped us to find out what happens when a man and a woman get together, as if we didn't know. We can find the Titanic, but not your car keys. And we can put all our ideas together and come up with new, innovative, new creations. All right, as for war. It looks a little different, There are all these gizmos and gadgets and whatnot. But actually, unfortunately, it's the same old guys who have to do all the fighting. And no joke, the loss is not any easier. All right, as for the Neanderthals, you Neanderthals, I got bad news for you and good news for you. So the bad news is that we're actually not related. The good news is, in the future, you're still around and going strong. And something really horrible is you still torture your children. All right. A guy named Dean Kamen, he invents a lot of things. One of them helps those who can't walk. But really, he told me that the most incredible invention that saved the most lives, this thing right here. This is what we call the hole in the cave floor, okay? It's called a toilet. Saved more lives than anything. But, second only to the toilet, information graphics. Without information graphics, we would not know how to use the toilet or what to do afterwards. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, I had such a healthy, long career. Here's one of my most famous charts. It charts out how you're going to die and how horrible ways. It's very popular. All right, second only to me, Richard Saul Warman, is a guy who works for this company. His name is Peter Saul Durand, and it's Alphachimp Studio. And in the future, they will explore visual learning as a powerful tool in critical thinking, problem solving, and strategic planning, or as I like to say, wait for it, doodling for dollars. Here he is in his cave, making his strategic plans. Here he is executing it with his tribe. All right, so, end scene. You didn't know I could talk, did you? And I am just so glad that Richard Saul Warman is not here today, because this is the definition of a career-limiting move. All right, I have a present. Here's a copy of my presentation.
Oh, thanks so much. Whoa!
Okay. All right, so my name's Peter Durand, and I am the Alphachimp. However, the Alphachimp is a little tribe, and it's a tribe of visual learners and people who've doodled their lives away. The day that we started the company was thanks to Chris Meyer, who I don't think is here today. Are you, Chris? He was here yesterday. He's out of Boston, and he gave me some of my first gigs, and one of them was to go to a conference similar to this, except on a little larger scale, to do the scribing for 40 presentations. And then he said, wouldn't it be great if we took everything and put it into one poster? Go. And so this was the first creation, and they were going to send out 5,000 copies. So I had to put something down here, a little website maybe. This was 1995. Websites were all the rage. And so I had to think of a name. Monkeybusiness.com was a porn site, so that was out. And so Alphachimp just sort of stuck, because what I do for a living is a little bit like being the little monkey with the fez on the bicycle, with the organ grinder and that sort of thing. But what I want to talk about today is something that nobody knows about, because that's what we're supposed to do. So this is the first time anybody outside of our little tribe knows about this. The real world that I live in are these kind of events, similar to what Rob was talking about earlier. You know, you get people together, you share value, you add value, and then you go home. And maybe there's an email, maybe your assistant types in an address, and then you get on an email list, and that's not value added. So how do you take these events, all right? And at our events, there are a lot of images, there are presentations, there's the stuff I do, there are pictures. You have teams of people, you have organizations, you have stories, strategies, tags, decisions. And right now there's this massive collage, this universe, this constellation of different technologies out there. You got the bloggers back here, props up for my peeps. You got podcasters, you got people who are doing social networking. But I think most innovation happens when you're really, really irritated. And you're bitching and moaning to your friend. And your friend says, you know what? You should really talk to my friend, whoever. So I was bitching and moaning to my friend Jason. Well, Jason happens to be a super genius. Unfortunately, not from the institute here in Rhode Island, but from Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh. But anyway, Jason is a super genius, and I said, Jason, I have tens of thousands of these damn drawings that I've done for all these great people, capturing all these ideas, and they're on CD-ROMs, and they're on websites, and they're just scattered all over, and a lot of them are on computers that are in my basement now, or given to the Salvation Army. I can't even find them if I wanted to. And so we started to design a software package, and he said, do you think there's a market out there for this sort of thing? And I said, I don't know. And I said, if there is, and we're going to do this right, then I want to go cheap, fast, and out of control. So our design team well, I read an article in Business 2.0 on how to make a bulletproof startup. Did anybody see this? Had beautiful, like, long fold out. You know, it had 11 steps you had to go through. First one was, you know, raise $2 million, and then get an office and a back office, and buy Aeron chairs or whatever else you're supposed to do. Foosball table, I think, was in there. So I didn't see that before we started, so we've actually done it wrong. There are just 3 guys in Pittsburgh and 2 Russian dudes in Moscow, and we use Basecamp, which costs $39 a month. Is that allowed? Can we do that? All right, we're using credit cards. I don't know if anybody's discovered that method yet? It's working for us. So we have a very small, tight team. Sergey gets all the hard problems, so I guess that qualifies us to be ranked with innocentive, right? You know, we don't know how it works, so we give it off to Sergey in Moscow. So here are the results, and no one has seen this yet, so, you know, don't pass out when you do because it's so exciting. So, of course, it's called the missing link, and where it came from was this gap between event, knowledge input, and then sort of knowledge retention. And for me personally, I wanted a way to attach metadata to these images. So this is a browser-based software, and one of my stipulations to Jason the Super Genius was it has to be cheap enough so a Sunday school teacher can afford it and nobody has to download anything. So fortunately, there are all these great companies in the Web 2.0 space that have that same belief. So we've designed something that you only need your browser for. It's a subscription, and you can add as many events as you want. You can scale it down, scale it up. You can add on packages for podcasting and video. But I really wanted it to be something affordable that kids right out of school from RISD could, you know, start a business and have a way that they can archive their ideas. So let's check it out. This also segues nicely into what's going to happen with all this artwork, which has been a question that I've received. Okay. If you, back there for the bloggers actually, if you go to, if you go to alphachimp.com.missinglink.biz, you will have access to this event. So it's public, it's open, there are no passwords. You can tell your mom what you did this weekend. Your kids will just be completely, you know, electrified. Okay, so when you go here, you'll be able to see all the images as per the agenda. It's very simple. All the metadata is attached. And what I'm really jazzed about is I was able to build this in about 15 minutes last night. So I took the pictures, I cleaned them up in Photoshop, and when I uploaded the pictures, I added the metadata, who was doing what part of the agenda it fell in, and the program just did everything else. Then I was able to go in, just copy and paste, which I hope is legal, right, off of the BIF.org website. Bob here, Bob, this is public, you know, usage, right? So copy and paste right into here. It uses the exact same interface you would use if you were you know, creating a blog or something like that. It's fast, cheap, and out of control. And now I'm going to show you the really fun part because my work is so dense. In fact, it's so dense it won't fit on this screen. So we have to go up here to our toolbars and turn them off. And keep going. Okay, so here's where the magic is. So you can, these are tiled, and that happens automatically on upload, so you can zoom in. Not only can you zoom in, you can click and drag around and view stuff. And our hope for the next version is that every aspect of the image has even more metadata. So you could click here, and maybe you could jump to that part of the podcast or the video where Dr. Ballard is talking about the new ship that they're using for exploration. You can also go super mega big if you want to, scroll around, get rid of all that annoying navigation. And best of all, for you kind people, you can print it out and put it in folders. So this is, I mean, on the wall of your cubicle. All right, so thank you very much. I was very nervous. I'm very glad Saul was not here, but please send him my warmest thanks.
I'm giving him a paper for it.
Yes, all right, so thank you all very much.